Well, Taurus, hello, hello. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you guys are new, hello, I am Yasmin. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. Taurus, we're just going to go ahead and get right into the reading. There is going to be a spiritual portion of this. This reading is a spiritual reading. Of course, it's going to include everything because that's what this is about. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just, I don't even think we're going to use oracles. I don't think I've used oracles all day. But let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody. All right. This is for Taurus. Taurus. Well, the eclipse is going to play a huge part of your life coming up here soon. You guys already know that the eclipses are going to happen in September. The eclipse is going to allow you to start in a new emotional cycle. Now, I'm not sure why I see you guys being in a bad mood, or you have been. Why have you been having so much worry and insomnia and not being able to concentrate? Feeling hopelessness, feeling lost, unloved. Some of you guys have been wallowing in sorrow. What is this really coming from? And so this is interesting because it's saying that very soon, in 3 months, which is very interesting. Let me tell you how crazy that is. The eclipse is literally going to happen in 3 months. It's literally going to happen in 3 months, where something that you have been suffering from will come to an end. Okay? This nightmare that you've been experiencing. And I'm not really sure what that is, but this is what this is telling me. The very fact that emotions are the major theme of your reading, this is letting me know that this is someone who you love very deeply. Now, this could be a lover, this could be a family member, but to me, for some of you, definitely family member, right? Where the family member kind of has you in this restrictive place. Maybe you're taking care of someone. Maybe there's a divine feminine that's around you with very negative energies. Someone that you love very deeply, but they haven't really expressed that love back towards you. And that's the only thing that I can really think of, because at the end of the day, it has to be someone that you love that isn't a romantic partner. Why else would you be feeling down? If this is a romantic partner, you have developed some type of emotional codependency to this person. Because the Three of Wands is saying, hey, I want to expand, but you don't want to expand. And that's where you and this person clash. That's the reason why there's been stalling in this relationship, or it hasn't progressed. Because you can't come to terms with what this really is, because this person is basically saying, hey, I don't mind being with you, but I want my freedom. And I hate this, because I said this the other day, that being attached to someone that has no progression, it regresses you. They are a small thinker. And really, the Three of Wands talks about the big picture, but how in the world are you a big fish swimming in a small pond? And this is this person's small pond. Pond, lake, emotions. You are too much for them. You have conversations with this person and say, hey, you know what? I think we'll be good together. This will be a good idea if we actually make this serious. I want to have children one day. I want to be able to have a home. I want to be able to go on vacations and have holidays together. And that sounds all good. The person nods their head, but at the same time, they don't act in the coordinates the coordinates. They don't act in harmony with that agreement. I don't really see this person really waiting for you. And I hate to say that because I think you are the only sign that I've done where I can always tell that there's another person in the reading. I think I've done 2 or 3 readings for you, and I thought it was very interesting because I said, damn, I usually don't ever see that in a read like that. And the read kept saying that, yeah, they chose them. And that's what's really keeping this person from really like locking in, really. That's what's really keeping this person from locking in because they don't see you in the long run. Remember, the 3 of Wands talks about expansion. They don't see you at that distant place. But here you are waiting. You've been waiting for this person, but it's something that's going to happen that's going to trigger these emotions. And I'm telling you, a lunar eclipse is going to either eclipse something out or eclipse something in. But just based on this reading, I'm not really seeing this person conforming to your demands. You're dealing with someone who isn't committal. Some of you guys are dealing with somebody who you don't even know is gay. And I hate to say it that way, but it is true. I usually don't be that messy in these readings, but I can tell you for a fact that this person doesn't necessarily have the lifestyle that you think they have. You're like, wait a minute, like you're 50 years old, you've never been married. The last time you had a child was in your early 20s. They smell real good, they dress real good, you love their style, you love all of that. But for some odd reason, they just can't get it together. And they can't get it together because they can't love who they want to love out loud. You guys are afraid to be alone, and this is truly the reason why you've been fighting yourself. You're going to be forced to be by yourself, though, because again, there's somebody else got your person's attention, and this is crazy because they got it. I mean, they got it bad. That means that they got something that they feel that you can't provide, and that's why I said, damn, what is this other person doing? What is this other person doing that got your person wrapped up in the head like that? And see, with them, they're like, okay, no, this is too much of a good opportunity. I'm not missing this. Taurus, I want to push Taurus back to the back burner. I'm going to make sure I take this opportunity and explore what this is with this person. And I'm telling you, it just feels like something secret. I will say in the future here for you, Taurus, there is going to be a lonely place because that eclipse is going to end something that you've been very reluctant to end. And universe is going to replace this person who you've been loving on, who you've been waiting on. The universe is going to replace this person for you. Oof, my God, you guys. Oh yeah, that eclipse is going to put you guys in a positive position because it's falling right up under lunar eclipse. And what's coming up out of that? You're coming out of the woods. Look at what it says. A positive change, a turning point. You're learning to accept that this situation is not going to really go the way that you want it to go. You are in a emotional deficit. There's something about your emotions here, you being an earth sign. Something has been triggering you. Totally. I don't know if some of you guys feel dumb. Some of you guys feel foolish in some way. And now you've been living in harsh conditions. It's like loving on someone, and it's like you're loving someone in an abandoned building. I'll love you no matter what you have, no matter what you have, and you don't have any soap, you have no food in the refrigerator, you have no bed to sleep in. And this is what makes me feel like you were in it. You were in it. You were like, I will love you regardless. But then the thing is, you look up and you're like, well, wait a minute. I told you that I will love you. Here I am sleeping with you in this abandoned building. And they jump up and get into a Rolls Royce. They live in the good life because, see, they sold you a dream. They only thought that that's what you were worth. No matter what they had, you accepted that. And the universe is like, no, like, Taurus, you guys need to wake up from this dream. Whatever you guys have been in, you've been living in a dream world. This is not it. That eclipse is going to like kind of snap you up out of something. And I love the fact that it's going to be a positive change. Even though it may hurt, it's going to be a positive change. But you have to have patience. Just because you want to be with someone does not mean that the love of your life is going to show up, you know, a week after you have this break from this person. It doesn't mean that. But you have to have faith, which is the reason why the high priestess is here. You guys are like really, really smart. And so you're going to start moving accordingly. You're going to surprise yourself. You're going to shock yourself with how you're going to be able to detach. I see that you guys are going to get real busy when it comes down to not focusing so much on this love. I feel that you guys are going to stop waiting. Like whoever you were waiting for, you're no longer going to wait. You're not going to be waiting for them to get their shit together. You're like, you know what? I have my own bed at my own house. I don't have to sleep on the floor with you. I don't have to eat the spoiled food in the refrigerator. I can go home. I literally live in a 3-bedroom condo. But because I loved you so much, I was willing to sacrifice all of that just to be with you. And then what did they do? You look outside the window and they kissing on somebody else. And some of you guys actually see this because either A, you're seeing this on Facebook, you're seeing this on Instagram, you're seeing something, because I don't know why I said looking outside the window and being able to see, but I can see that you can see it. Or some of you guys are psychic because you can see it in your vision. Or are you that intuitive where you know for a fact that that's what they're doing? Because they're not loving on you. Okay? So one thing that I can say, just based off of what I see, that there is going to be a decision made within yourself to finally move on. But how can you move on? You got to stay busy. You got to get busy. That's what you have to do. But it really is an awakening here with this lunar eclipse. That's basically what it means. That's the only way it's going to work. The universe has to step in here and show you something, because it's like the eclipse and then all of a sudden you dive right into your higher self. You leap into that. A lot of you, this is someone that you have history with too. So I totally understand, because like I said, you got this emotional codependency. So I feel like this is what, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years? Is this someone that you're married to? Is it someone that you have children with? Could be. I'm going to go ahead. I want to do something really quickly. You're a lover, boy or girl, Taurus. You really are. It's like you and the universe have been arm wrestling, you know? And you've been like, oh, I got this, universe. You telling me that I gotta go, I gotta move a certain way. No, I got this, I got this. And then boom, ah, universe got you. Because you refuse to realign to your purpose and you're causing your own delay. Now, see, at one point you were doing really good. You said, okay, you know what? I can get out of this. I can get out of this. I'm keeping myself real busy. I'm keeping myself busy. I got this. You got real busy. You start getting back on track. That person called you up. You called them up. Now y'all talking back and forth. And guess what? Those 3 steps you made, now you've taken 5 steps back. And this is why I said you're regressing. Why are you holding on? You're not making any advancement here. I can tell that the universe gave you an out. The universe gave you an out. They gave you an opportunity. And for a lot of you, there's been people who have been wanting you, but you have been ignoring them. Some of y'all with your money, because you were too depressed to even stay focused, especially if you have your own business, you lost money because of them. You gave them money and they never paid you back. Some of y'all have traveled and lost money in expense. It was a very expensive thing being with this person and they gave you nothing in return. So what does this mean? You were a dreamer. But that's okay, because the universe says, you know what? Even though you have settled and you've taken some steps back, you're still going to be very optimistic about the future. You should be. This is why the Sun card is in the upright. You should be very optimistic. Now, this is the thing. Let me tell you what's so bad about some of you guys. You guys are in a deficit because you thought it was just fun, especially divine masculine. You thought it was just fun, right? You thought this was cute. You thought that this person was attractive. It was cute. It wasn't anything. It wasn't going to go anywhere, right? And guess what this person did? Either got pregnant or put you in a bad bind financially. Because see, you thought it was just fun. And you done lost on money, lost out on money, on jobs, on opportunity. Some of your friends don't even talk to you. Some of y'all got records because now the cops got called on you because you just was having fun. You thought it was cute. You thought this wasn't going to be anything. And again, it's because you haven't checked in on your inner self. This is why almost all your reading is basically talking about you, right? It talks about within you that you were refusing to change. But I definitely see this with the divine masculine because you were holding on to this youthfulness. You still wanted to feel, like you still got it. And it cost you. And I'm not saying that this didn't happen to the divine feminine. The divine feminine is very well aware that what they're doing is costing them. The divine feminine is well aware of that, but there is something with the divine masculine that I feel is like this little naivety there, where you got with someone who was real attractive, very, very fun, very outgoing, very spunky. They were just, you just felt alive. And then all of a sudden they got you and you lost out on a lot because they slowed you down. I'm going to talk about your money for a second, Taurus. Your 6th house, I'm not really sure what this eclipse is going to trigger for you. But one thing that I can tell you, I can tell it's the 6th house that's being triggered because it talks about your routine. It talks about you taking care of your health. It talks about your work and your career. And a lot of you guys are having a hard time with all of those things. You're not really able to focus on your money, right? You're not able to really stick to a routine. And you haven't really taken care of your health, even though there are signs that you need to. I don't see that a lot of you have a lot of energy. There's this lack of energy here. And so I personally feel there's deficit. There's, again, there it is with that deficit. Remember I said emotional deficit, but see, there's that word again, deficit. So I don't know, maybe it has something to do with your maybe vitamins deficiencies. There's some type of deficiency here that needs to be, addressed. I'm going to check your other person before I get your last card. Your person out there having a good time. Oh, your person out there having a good time. They like, listen, it's the summer. Baby, I'm out here having a good old time. And some of these people that is going to actually be out there getting folks pregnant, by the way. I don't know if they're going to keep it, but I definitely see a pregnancy. And this is the type of person who feels like they can get away with anything. They can do whatever they want. It's not going to really affect them too much. They've been cheats. They've been lying their whole life. They've been putting on the front their whole life. And it's like, who's going to clock me? Who's going to stop me? That's what I see with this person. And for some of you, this person is very successful. Very successful. They have multiple businesses or multiple streams of income. They are really good with investing. They're able to invest in that way and make profit off of it. So I'm not saying that you're dealing with someone who's raggedy. I'm not even saying that, but it's not what it seems, right? This person is not who you think they are. They could be very good when it comes down to making money. But when it comes down to relationships and love, they have absolutely nothing to offer you because they keep going in a loop. They have done the same thing to you and to a million other people that came before you, and most likely that will come after you until the universe actually changes this person's. Okay? They are running from themselves according to this reading. They are avoiding the hard work. They are avoiding investing in the healing work within themselves. That's what I see. They need to make adjustments, but they don't want to. They have even said within themselves that I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better because somebody that they came across, it could be you. But if it wasn't you, somebody that they came across that they really loved and they disappointed them. And so they said, you know what, I'm never going to be that type of person that's going to make somebody happy because I can't figure it out myself. But I'm telling you, this eclipse is going to affect them too. There's someone that has died in their life. I'm not really sure who it is. I don't know if it's a mother or father, someone that they used to be with, and they feel like they'll never love anybody ever again the way that they love that person. But there is someone even in their energy that I see that isn't around, and it feels more like physically not around. That's haunting them in a way. And again, I feel like it's because they couldn't get it together. Maybe they couldn't make their mother proud of them. Okay. Maybe they didn't have kids before she died. I'm only using that as an example. I don't know. Okay. But I do see that this person is regretting a lot of things that they could have accomplished, but they didn't. They were taking shortcuts of what they felt was going to be good for them at that moment. And they lacked discernment. For those who are in a committed relationship, you may not know this, but your person is basically saying they don't want to be here anymore because they're not necessarily seeing that it's worth fighting for. And maybe it's you. Maybe it's because you've given up. Maybe it's because you're tired. Because remember, in your part of the reading, it's literally talking about all emotion for you. I feel like you are poured out. And now you are prioritizing yourself. They have no other choice now but to readjust and to release you. This person really did fall on their face from what it looks like to me. Some of you guys have blocked this person. They have absolutely no access to you. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. For some of you, this could be a family member. I mean, this could be a mother or father or siblings here. You have a lot of sevens in your read, y'all. Look at this. You had 7 here, 7 here, 7 here. You even had some 7s that came out earlier. I just didn't pay attention to it. I was not even paying attention. This is talking about anybody that you are connected to. Anybody. And these are the people that you have a marriage with. Like I said before, these are the people that you are closely linked to, that for some odd reason that it's just seemed like someone is spiraling. They're going the opposite direction. Someone doesn't see this connection being worth anything anymore. Like I said before, and this could be you. And now this person is like, well, damn, Taurus ain't going to take me back. So I can't, I can't go back there. For some of you, when it comes down to something dealing with, your business or something like that, you're breaking ties with people that you may have had business partners with. Some of you guys are completely letting that go. You do have money coming in here. You really do. But you have to put the work in. I do see you got to put the work in. And some of you guys, again, I think I talked about, you guys are starting to prioritize yourself. You need to be doing that. You got to get your priorities straight, because according to this reading, you've been on everything except for what you need to be focused on financially. Now, some of you guys are okay, but some of you guys are not. And that's because you are worrying about everything and everybody, and it has nothing to do with your livelihood. And there's some problems here with your money. Why am I seeing that you can't go buy toothpaste when you need to get toothpaste? Why am I seeing that when you need to buy detergent or something for the baby, you can't even buy it? Now, I understand that for some of you, you're just put in that bind. I get it. But I'm saying that means also that there is something a little reckless about your spending, or maybe you're not attempting to try to improve your situation in some kind of way for some of you. Of course, this is not everybody, but I have to say what I have to say because it's true, right? Not every Taurus is going to be on point. Some Tauruses are absolutely amazing, because again, the 6th house for some of you is going to be very strong. The expansion energy is here. But I also see on the lower vibration part of that, which is coming out a lot in this reading today, where some of you guys are not, you don't have your priorities straight. And I'm not really sure where this is coming from. You guys are not determined enough, or maybe you don't feel determined enough. I don't know. You know how sometimes you like, I'm going to stand 10 toes in. I want to stand on what I stand on. And then you go back on your word. When you start doing stuff like that, you start letting yourself down. And you're like, well, I can't even, if I can't, trust myself, then there's really no point of me actually really trying. It's something about you going back on your word, or you not following through, that even has you feeling some way about yourself and your decisions. But you're going to have to start somewhere. This is why that lunar eclipse is saying even that has to end. That type of cycle that you've been in, you have to get rid of that. That has to go. Because how else are you going to be able to bring fruition your goals? Some of you have secrets and you're not telling anybody. Now, I know we talked about earlier how your person could have secrets, right? We talked about, that could be sexual thing. That's going to hit a few of y'all. May not hit everybody, of course. But then now I see some of y'all got some secrets. Some of y'all are not saying something or being sneaky. Some of you guys are being sneaky in this reading. I want to get this card, but I want to go outside of you for a second. I want to see what it is that I'm seeing. You guys have the Page of Cups in reverse. This is crazy. Oh, you guys have addiction issues or some type of, and not everybody, let me say that, because then somebody in the comment section will be like, it ain't me. Of course, it does not have to be you, right? But some of you guys in general are doing a little bit too much of something. Now, I don't know if this is social media too much, if this is eating too much, if this is drinking too much, if there is something that is taking your focus off of what you need to be focusing on. And I'm telling you, it's become an addiction. It's like you can't get out of it. It's something that feels like overindulgence, like a little bit too excessive. Of course, you don't have to put it in the comment section, but I'm just saying, I mean, it's coming out big time in this read. I do see that for some of you, again, health is coming up again in your reading. I do see you recovering from things that you may be experiencing as far as health-wise, but at the same time, it's like you're trying to feel this hollow feeling. And that's interesting because that's absolutely correct, because the Hermit card is right there. A lot of you don't like to be alone and go within because you don't like the quiet. It triggers something in you. Were you neglected before? You know, being by yourself can trigger this like neglect energy for some of you. There's someone from your past that is here, someone you've been estranged from, that's showing in your reading. Someone that you thought that you knew and you really didn't, who is going to come in here and try to emotionally manipulate you again. And that High Priestess is saying, you need to listen to your inner voice. You need to listen to the inner guidance, because I'm telling you, you're going to end up back in the same loop that you've been in for the past 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it's been. You're going to end up going backwards, because remember, that Three of Wands is in reverse. It's telling you, it's giving you a warning. In order for you to expand, what do you have to do? Make wise decisions according to the High Priestess. And you want to know what the High Priestess is? Okay, I know what I should do, but I'm not. Because see, this is the reason why she always have that black, you know, what is that, beam on the side of her, and a white beam on the side of her, right? She likes the energy of the darkness because it's exciting, but at the same time, she knows that she needs to do what's right, and that's what the white part of her is, right? I know what I need to do, but I don't want to do it. A lot of y'all already know what you're doing is wrong. A lot of you guys already know going back to certain individuals is going to be reckless for you. But you like the feeling. That's the high that you get. You want the universe to take away this void. And it's a very heavy void. There is someone who you aren't talking to. And I don't know who this is. It could be your family members. It could be even your kids. It could be a cousin. It could be, you know, a friend that you haven't talked to in a while that you were really, really close to. But there's a void in your life, and there's just silence. It's silence. And you guys are like suffering because of that. It's loud and it's noisy. Oh, wow. I love this. That came out, Ace of Cups in the upright, just like that. The Two of Cups came up in the upright, just like that. That eclipse is saying, I'm about to trigger a deep emotional cleanse for you. Whatever that has been causing this deficit in your life, I need to get rid of. This is what the universe is saying. You have to be strong enough to walk away. You have to be strong enough to cut out the alcohol. You got to be strong enough to cut out these addictions and these negative thoughts of doom and gloom. You have to be strong enough to think positive. And to do the work is really about diving deeply. And for some of you, you don't want to do all of that. You ain't trying to do all of that. You just want it to be. You want to go to sleep one day and wake up, and then now you're fine. You're fine. You don't want to do the inner work. And a lot of you, you really don't want to do it. This is why some of the cross watchers are here. Talking about Taurus. Because even if you are the victim, in some way, you have caused some type of damage. If it hasn't been to other people, it's been to yourself because you don't want to listen. Because I don't know why I keep seeing this arm wrestling image with the universe. This is what you've been doing. And of course, this isn't for all Taurus, because sometimes I'll be doing the readings and it's just like, boom, ooh, you got love, ooh, you got money. Okay, you got increase, right? That means some of you guys are new. Some of you guys are new. Some of you guys that are not normally here. So I'm picking up on your energy. But here it says that now the universe is going to give you an overflow of abundance. This is the reason why the Ace of Cups is here. Now it's time for joy. And it's all coming from that eclipse energy in 3 months. That's what you've been waiting for. And a lot of you have to stop avoiding going within because, again, like I said before, you don't like feeling vulnerable. No, I don't want to cry. I ain't trying to cry now. Some of you guys are criers, but some of you guys don't like that feeling because you feel like the person who made you cry is got a one-up on you. Okay. I don't want to cry. That's what you've been trying to avoid too. No, I'm not really lacking. I'm not missing nobody. You telling me that I'm missing somebody that's going to make me feel like I'm weak. But you are missing something. It's okay. Come to terms with it. Here with the high priestess, it says, you know what? That's okay. Come to terms with what this really is and start anew. It's going to be something here. I love the fact that the Page of Cups even talk about a brand new experience that you're going to feel. Beauty, romance. Okay, this is artistic expression. This is a new spiritual feeling. All of those things is what you're going to feel now because you are more self-absorbed within yourself. You are worried about yourself and you're concerned about yourself and not trying to appease anybody else, especially romantically. And a lot of y'all been out here just, God, this is why it says loving exchange, a mutual energy. Not one-sided. Let's get a card here for Taurus. This is going to be for love and romance, by the way. I love this. I love this so much. It literally says, change your behavior. Isn't that crazy? This is what we've been talking about the whole time. We've been talking about this with you. Your routine, because I said it was the 6th house that's heavily highlighted in your reading. 6th house energy, routine, work, career, and finances, and health. Change your behavior to what? To develop better habits. And guess what happens when that happens? Everything improves. Because some of y'all imposing y'all negative thoughts on other people. And people are like, ooh. Taurus is kind of negative. Taurus has got this like icky feeling, like, ooh. And y'all are kind of like, what are they acting like that for? I'm a Taurus. Ain't nobody going to think about that like that with me. No. But the thing is, this is what you're throwing off because you need to improve your relationship with yourself, with your money, with God before you actually can go out there in the world. Because, other than that, you're just going out there just stanking. People like, what's wrong with Taurus? They used to look good. They used to smell good. So now everything has changed. This is why I said you're changing your behavior and everything within you is starting to change. Your inner world, your outer world, everything. Your money is good. You smelling good again. You're looking good again. You're bright. Your health is great. You're sticking to your routines. Everything you set out for yourself, you're actually doing. This is great. This is amazing. And this is exactly what the universe wants you to do. But you got to take a closer look. And a lot of you guys are avoiding the hard parts. Okay. Well, this is what I have for you here, Taurus. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. And again, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you are interested in a personal reading, all the information is down below. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. I love you, Taurus. Have a good night.